My fellow Oklahomans in Cleveland County District 15, this November when you go to the polls, you'll have a choice to vote for state senator between incumbent Standridge and former Norman City Councilwoman Alexandra Scott. This ad is not affiliated with either candidate, but rather a plea from Norman residents to not make the same mistake that we made with our city council. Many of us in the past did not take local elections seriously, and we ended up paying for it. Democrat or Republican, you used to could trust your locally elected officials not to steer the ship too far off course. But Alex Scott represents the new kind of politician, the kind that puts activism first and common sense policy second. Our first clue we had elected a child playing a game was when our citizens' concerns were greeted with Scott turning her back on them as they spoke in session. Her behavior forcing a fellow councilman to apologize
Sir,
to her.
I want to apologize to you. Your public representatives turn their back on you.
He should never feel obligated to apologize on my behalf because I am not sorry.
During the COVID-19 pandemic, she made it clear what she thought of the hard-earned money of the people she represents.
So coming back to the sales tax thing, I just want to remind y'all we have some options. If we were to implement some sort of municipal income tax on, high income earners who have stable incomes throughout pandemic scenarios like this, just something to consider. Finally, I'm going to say it. This pandemic is exposing the woes of capitalism. We have all been through a global pandemic before this, and it is capitalism. Capitalism is a global pandemic. Thank you.
The new breed of activists cling to whatever way the far left wind blows. And this year, when they decided to make the police their focal enemy, so did Scott.
This amendment basically cuts the salary and benefits of the police department in half.
She told a story of how she was treated by the Norman Police Department, but the officer's camera told a different story. The story of someone with a vendetta, with no respect for law enforcement.
2 officers showed up pretty quickly, no masks until I asked. And then I told them my 6-week-long experience. They remained silent.
I would get a Nest camera or a doorbell camera because a judge is going to be like, well, what proof do you have that he's stalking you? And we want you to feel safe. Well, that's why we came. I was here quick.
When I asked them to ask my neighbor, when they blatantly disbelieved me on my doorstep.
I'm not saying I don't believe you by any means.
No, that's totally fine. Thank you for coming. Thank you so much for coming tonight.
So you don't want our help?
Are you going to offer your help?
That's what we're here for.
What are you going to help with?
I'm trying to help you how to get, if you wanted to get a VPO or if it turns into that, but at this point.
So are you?
Because you called
Are you
us.
here to help me?
Yeah, we are.
What are you going to help me? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. This dude knocked on my fucking door. I just had Bria's husband. I literally just had him. He just wants to some lights. And they just went off. And I called the police. And they came over here. And they was looking at me like I'm fucking crazy. And I asked them if they want to go wake up my neighbor. So I'm a little bit tripped the fuck out as a woman who lives with my dogs. And I would shoot somebody.
Because her motion light went off at home, Norman residents lost 9 full-time paid positions from the police department. Now she has her sights set here on the Capitol. While Norman residents worked in the summer heat to take back their council, Scott provided further embarrassment by being arrested at President Trump's Tulsa rally. People of Cleveland County, is this what you want in your state senator? Do her values and radical ideas of disruption fit how you want to be represented at the state capitol?